All right, I started recording. Let me let everyone join. Hello and welcome everyone to today's session. I am still admitting students into the room so they can gain all the information that they need in preparation for registering for classes. We hope that you are a current Stockton student. We know that this email went out to students who are enrolling this spring, but this session is specifically for students who are currently uh, enrolled at Stockton this semester. So if you're a new student coming in the spring semester, this session isn't for you. We have special registration sessions for you um, beginning next week. Wow, we have more students who are joining the session. Again, welcome to today's session, which is a registration party. We're here to provide you with tips and resources on how to register for classes. We have a current student, Talon Lauren Huber, who is here, who will be able to assist and give you a refresher on how to register for classes once she shares her screen. And we have an advisor here who can, also provide tips and resources on registering for classes. Emma is here today, and I don't see her on the screen, but Emma Klusner is here. Yes. So I am still admitting students into the session. We have a full room, which is really exciting. Um, Once Lauren goes in to give a brief presentation on how to register for classes, and you can feel free to ask questions, and Emma and Lauren will be here to answer. All right, so thank you so much for joining us today. Lauren, I'm going to pass things over to you. I've already given you access to share your screen if you like.
Give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm gonna start from the very first place you should be. You should be on the Go portal first of all. And on it usually comes up on home, and then you would click Student Services to find the registration tab. So hopefully you've met with your preceptor and they've talked about your degree works and what classes you need to take. If you don't remember, degree works is on the left hand side. You can click on it and it shows you everything you could possibly need. It'll show you when it loads. It shows you your preceptor, your degree, major, concentration, credits earned, credits in progress. And then you can scroll down and see what classes you still need. So I have a lot of green check mark classes, which means I've already completed them and had the high enough grade to pass. Blue classes mean they're in progress, and red classes mean I haven't taken anything yet. So that's degree works real quick. So for course registration, what I told my students was to make a plan and add it that way. That was the easiest way that I've found to register for classes. But if you didn't, you can go into register for classes and then you would click spring 2021, continue. And then the classes that your preceptor would have told you to register for, you could search for. So say I needed an intro class. So say I need intro to psychology. I would click psychology and then search. If I knew the course number, I could search it. If I don't, I would just hit search. And there's an intro to psych class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in person. So I would click add over here on the right. And I would hit submit to web register. I'm not going to because that'll mess up the enrollment wait and the enrollment list. And I don't want to do that. So that's basically it. I know that was kind of fast. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask.
Emma, do you have anything to add that students should be aware of, or should, any resources or tips you would like to share with them?
Definitely. If you're going to use the plan, which works well sometimes and sometimes not, depending on the classes that you want. There are a lot of classes that are very popular at Stockton that fill up very quickly. So you need to have several alternate classes ready to go to take the place of the ones that maybe you didn't get a seat in. Another way that you can deal with an issue for the class that's closed is that you can wait list. A lot of students have difficulty figuring this out. If you want to be in a particular class and the class is closed, you can try to register for the class and you're going to get an error telling you it's full. If you click on action, you can add yourself to the wait list and click submit. And when the seat comes open, you will receive an email in your email account from Stockton, from the student records office. And you will have 48 hours to register for that class. That seat is being held for you. If you wait 1 minute after 48 hours, the computer basically kicks you off the wait list and sends the notification to the next person in line. So if you wait list for a seat, you have to be very diligent and make sure that you check your Stockton email at least once a day to look for that wait list seat. And particularly do it over the holiday break, because everybody tends to go into Christmas mode and they're not thinking about school. But it does pay to check that email just once a day, and look for that wait list notification. And just while I'm talking, please know that our office, the Center for Academic Advising, has got walk-in hours every day for a Zoom room, and there's always somebody around, or you can call our office and we will do whatever we can to help you. I understand with freshmen and sophomores that there's a lot of questions, and we're going to be there to do whatever we need to do to help you out.
Lauren, can you show us the academic advising website? And
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, that would be great, Lauren. Thank you, because you can hook up with an appointment. You don't have to come in. You don't have to call.
Academic advising.
And as Lauren pulls that up, Emma, maybe you could answer this question.
Sure.
I try to select the spring 2021 term. It says time tickets prevent registration. When would I be able to access it?
That will be dependent on the number of earned credits that you have. You'll see that on your pre-registration time. That's that top link there that Lauren just showed you on your portal. Students register based on earned credits, not enrolled. So if you're a brand new freshman with no AP or do high school, you're going to go at the end. So, and obviously seniors get to go first. So there we can see Lauren's. Yep, we know she's got 75 earned, and it gives you the time and date in which you're allowed to register.
That was a really good question. And if you have additional questions, you can type them in the chat, or you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask them again.
All right, great, Lauren. Thank you for showing us the web page there. If you click on schedule and advising appointment, that's how we're all going to come up, and you can, if you need somebody right away, you're going to go through these calendars and look for all of us and see who's got the first opening. But if you're a health science major or thinking about health sciences, you're probably going to want to make that with Cynthia McCluskey. You can see she's advising for health sciences specifically. And if you're interested in education, you're going to want to make the appointment with Kate Spalding. She is the education advisor in our office. All of us can pretty much answer most questions. I think the most difficult ones are going to come from the education area in regards to certifications and things like that. But we can generally, many of us can get you through a basic class selection. But when it comes to the more specific questions with certification, we would definitely want to speak with Kate.
Thank you, Emma. Another question is, do I have to register for classes on the day that my registration opens?
No, you don't. But I strongly recommend to be sitting there waiting for that moment that you're allowed to register. Um, it starts a habit very early in your academic career by being on time with it early. Because in our office, we are often get these students who are juniors or seniors and they forgot or they say they were too busy. And then by the time they get around to asking for help, the classes they needed were closed. So, as a freshman or a sophomore, the competition for classes isn't too bad, only for the cool classes what everybody wants. But when you get to that level, there might be one section of a specific class that you need to get that seat. So you need to be on top of that. And the further along in your college career you go, the more on top of that you need to be.
Excellent. Another question, are there any classes in particular that need to be taken before the freshman year is over?
Yes, during a student's first year, you need to take a math course, a Q1, and that's a math class. You need to take a W1, and that's going to be a writing intensive class, and a freshman seminar. And they're all going to be listed under a G class, the freshman seminars, and they all begin with a 1-0. So that's a good way to identify them because Stockton doesn't do a stock freshman seminar. They all have specific topics. I teach one, I teach immigration studies. So, with my class, you also get an H, which is really cool. And I have a full load and I have a great bunch of freshmen. We're having a lot of fun. So your freshman seminars should always be something that you're interested in or an area in which you wish to explore. So it's important that you get those done, but the most important ones is the math and the writing, because especially the mathematics. If you want to progress further towards a major, there's often a sequence of math courses that you need to start as soon as possible in order to be able to register for upper level courses.
Excellent. Can you take more than one freshman seminar?
No. There's a nice man in my office. You see his name there, Rich Trauma. They'll run a report in general studies and give him a big list of students who have registered for more than one. And he sits there and emails and contacts all the students with duplicates to find out which one they need to drop, because we want to make sure that there are enough freshman seminar seats for all students.
Excellent. Lauren, can you also open up another tab and log into the Student Transition Programs website to the academic programs? So if you are an undecided major, we're actually having a session coming up on Thursday at 4 p.m. We'll have Career Ed Development Office as well as the Academic Advising Office to provide you with information, tips, and resources on how to determine a major. And the Zoom link can be found right there. And Lauren is actually hovering over the date. So it's Thursday, November 12th, and the Zoom link can be found there. Thank you, Lauren. Are there any other questions as far as registration where we can help you? I tried to do the plan ahead to get all my classes together, but whenever I would type in general studies or any other course, the classes would pop up, but they wouldn't show the times and dates. And I'm undecided, so I already took all the classes mandatory for freshmen. Would it be okay to just take most of my general studies classes?
Well, I think that one is for me, and my answer is it's okay, and nobody's going to stop you, but I don't recommend it. What I would do is I would try to make an appointment with an advisor in my office. And what I like to do is to tell the students to treat this like a big buffet. You go to that great big buffet and you're trying a little bit of everything on the table. So if you're not sure what you want to do, just taking G classes may not help you make that decision. It might be a good idea to take something in psychology or sociology and see if you like social sciences, or try a business class, or try something like history or literature. rather than just take G classes, look for introductory courses in a major. And that'll give you an idea if you like that major, or, you may not necessarily want to be a social worker, but there's nothing wrong with taking intro to social work to see what the field might be like. So I recommend at least, trying at least one or two of the introductory levels in any number of majors, and many of them will also give you those attributes, like an international multicultural or an H or a V. So those are there also. So you can often get an attribute done with taking one of these introductory courses. So, don't do them all. Just try one or two and wander around a little bit.
Excellent. Another question. If I have registered for 3 classes, including the lab with math, if somehow I forgot a mandatory class to complete my freshman year, will I be notified?
Yes, you will. You will be receiving an email, and I don't know if they do snail mail anymore, but I know you'll be getting an email from the General Studies Office reminding you that that requirement needs to be met.
Excellent. And I'm holding off. Hopefully, we'll hear more questions, but just as a reminder, or actually, I'm just announcing this for the first time, but we have an assessment that I'm posting it in the chat feature. So please take a moment. It should take no longer than 3 to 5 minutes to complete the survey, but it's on this session. Remember, today's session is November 9th, and it's about registering for classes. All right, here's another question. I missed the answer to Monique's question on how to search for G courses. Lauren, can you please walk us through that once more?
Okay, so G courses, you'll search, 1 second. So for G courses, you would type, so say I need a GEN or a general studies course. I would type in capital GEN into the search bar and hit search. And it comes up with all of the GENS courses. So say I need any GENS course. I can type in all of the G courses. And if you forget what the acronyms are, they're on DegreeWorks. Just as a helpful hint, because I know it took me forever to remember what they were. I believe that's all of them. So I can search all of the G courses by typing them in. And it gives you the attributes over here on the right next to the add button. So like say I need a GAH and an arts attribute class, I could take techniques of film and video production, hit add, it'll pop up down here, and I would hit submit to register for the class. But because it's full, there would be a wait list. So I would click the drop down menu, hit wait list, and then hit submit again. Does that answer your question about the G courses? I hope. Awesome.
And I'll be posting this video on our social media page on Facebook, Stockton Student Transition Programs. So you'll be able to rewatch this video if you need to. There's another question. Can I set up an appointment with someone to walk me along in creating my schedule for the spring? Lauren, can you pull up the advising website to show them where they can sign up for an individual one-on-one? Okay, so if you simply go to the website, the Stockton University website, in the search engine, you can type in academic advising, and it'll bring you right to this page. Thank you. And Lauren has posted it in the chat feature as well. These are all great questions. Are there any other questions? Okay, there's another one. Are the classes that have no listed date or time supposed to be like that? Or are those times not figured out yet? I know most of them are listed as asynchronous, but I'm unsure what that word means.
Okay, Lauren, I'm going to show everybody something that took me a little while to dig out of the website, because college websites are as hard as finding something in the library. So if you go into the search box at the top, you just type in the word modality, MODALITY, and click search. And that first hit you get is going to be a list of all the class modalities and how they're taught. This has been really helpful. By now, I have most of them memorized, but for a student who's new or hasn't done it before, this is a great little tab to keep open as you're registering. And I know it can be really confusing, but in the current COVID situation, we don't really have much choice. So we kind of have to go with this. So if you want to be 100% online, you're going to take something that says online. Everything else from the face-to-face and the hybrid are going to have some type of classroom contact. So if it says online, it could be asynchronous, which is on your own. Synchronous means you're in front of the computer at a specific date and time. And the online blended means sometimes you're in front of the computer and sometimes you don't have to be. But everything else is going to have a dedicated face-to-face portion to the class.
Yes, thank you. And Lauren actually posted up the link in the chat feature on how to find the definitions to the modality types. Another question, do you submit after you've picked all your classes or individually? Lauren.
Thinking. Do you submit? I would submit individually, because if you wait until you've picked all of your classes, you might lose a spot, because I know that if you pick one class, search for another class, pick that class, it's a 2-minute time frame where someone or multiple people could take any number of spots left in the class and you might lose out. So I would say after every class.
Thank you.
One thing that you do need to be aware of when you are choosing and registering your classes, if you are registering for a lab and lecture, you have to put them both in the registration box before you click submit. Otherwise, you're going to get a co-requisite error. And you're going to get really frustrated and not understand. You're like, but I'm supposed to be able to take Bio 1. And you can, you just need to register for them simultaneously or you're going to get that error.
Yes, and Lauren, of course, is doing a great job in showing us how to do that, how to register for the course and the lab.
Okay, so usually lab classes are 3 numbers and then a 5 on the end, and then the lecture is 2 zeros. So cells and molecules is a good example because a lot of people take that. This lecture is online asynchronous. I can hit add, and then I would find a lab section here, which is 1205, and click add. And then I'd have to hit submit for both of these at the same time. So that's the only case where you'd wait and select both of them and then hit add would be my suggestion for anybody that takes those kinds of classes.
Thank you for that demonstration. Again, if you have questions, we are here to answer them. But there is a survey. If you're done asking your questions, there is a survey we ask that you take, and I just posted it in the chat feature. So please take that survey. If there are no other questions for this session, we are excited, we are happy that you joined us today. And we are here. We're reminding you that we're here to support you and help you along your journey at Stockton. As you know where to find us, if you type in academic advising in the search engine of Stockton University, you can find advisors there who will help you work on your schedule individually. Another question just popped up. What are considered at some distance classes?
Okay, that's a good question. Stockton is a little different than most other schools where you can just take open electives. we call them at some distance because they have to be at some distance from your major. So if you're a business major, you can't use extra business classes in that area. Now it looks like we have Lauren's up here and it shows the at some distance. So I'm assuming, what's your major, Lauren?
Environmental science and education.
Okay, so you're an environment, yeah, because I can only see the bottom of your audit. So you're an environmental science major. So down here in the at some distance area, it will show you exactly what cannot go in that area. And if you look up at the top, you'll often see that the same classes are listed as cognates in your major. So you can use G classes for at some distance, but this is by having these at some distance courses. If you're a business major, you can go take a history class and get your H done. You can go take an art history class and get an arts done. So it's a good way to help you get those attributes that you see at the bottom of your degree audit complete without having to take necessarily a G class.
Sarah, is this answering your question too? I hope so. How can a student find their preceptor? I know that's a common question. It's right up at the top under your degree works.
Yes. Sometimes you have two, like me, if you're in education concentration.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I think that this was a rich session with lots of questions. I will post my email address in the chat feature in case you have additional questions, and I can always refer you. Okay, we have another question. My degree work said that I can't register for classes in anthro or sociology or crim, but my preceptor suggested to take those classes for my at some distance.
Then I think Sarah needs to make an appointment with an advisor in our office to go over the degree works. There may be a reason that the preceptor said that, but without looking at the student's individual record, it would be difficult for me to give a stock answer on that one. I'd want to look at the student's degree audit.
Excellent. And Sarah, you know where to find the academic advisors on your website. All right. Well, before everyone leaves, and if there are no additional questions, you're welcome. We're happy to help, Sarah. There is a survey that I've already announced a few times. Please take the survey before you head on out of this session. So thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Emma, for your great knowledge, your information that you've provided today. I think
You are most welcome.
Really helpful. And so we will hang on for another 2 minutes, but again, you know where to find the resources and the information if you need it. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. I'm going to stop recording the session now.